me, and because we wasn't speaking in English, I'd have to, I mean, I only ever replied once, but I had to use Google Translate to reply.
Oh, fuck
far too much effort.
Because it's fashion month, we are dressing along the lines of some of the favourite trends or styles of the season that we've seen this season already, or in previous seasons, or designers that we love. So I've gone for a little bit of like a corp core Prada type look. I don't even know if you can see from here. With like the micro shorts and a little heel, because the one thing that I was absolutely obsessed with last season and this season was the micro shorts trend.
And then I have gone for, I'm labelling it, well, it's not just me, it's labelling this, but my new thing is tomboy femme.
I love that. I've been all over that
honestly, because I'm a cargo girly. I mean, I don't know if you can really see my full outfit here. I'm like behind the kitchen counter.
You might have to go in front.
But I'll come show you in a sec. But basically, honestly, cargos, like baggy jeans, tracksuits, anything like that that's like comfy, cozy, I love. But I've realised that like sometimes I do look very like just boyish. So I've decided that I'm going to put one feminine like piece with each thing. So if I've got jogging bottoms on, I might put like a little crop underneath. Or with this, I've got honestly the jeans are so baggy, but I just thought this little boxy waistcoat, perfect. So yeah, I'm going to try to do a little.
I'm really into the tomboy thing.
This is the little boxy. I mean, I really wish I could show you my jeans.
It'd be like one of those French girls. Just lying across the ground.
And maybe I'll show you later at some point. But
we'll do a full
and then of course trainers.
I love those New Balance. I need to get
so
some of
nice.
those.
Honestly,
I literally live in New Balance.
I am a trainer girly. I mean, you saw the trainers in the dressing room, but I'm like, I just love trainers so much.
First things first, I can't start the day without Coca-Cola. It's literally my favourite thing in the world. We were just talking about how fizzy drinks really needs to not be an obsession of mine, and you just drink healthy drinks, and I'm really jealous. But
I've got a cold brew tea.
I know,
I did just have Diet Coke.
Oh yeah, you did. I might be on one of those now. So on that note, Leah, we know that you can take some sick lifestyle content, but can you cook, bitch?
I can.
We'll see, we'll see.
We're gonna go for a creamy mushroom gnocchi, and also I have some truffle oil and truffle dust that I've been dying to try.
I'm obsessed.
So I'm like, maybe we put these in it.
Yes.
So we're gonna go for a creamy gnocchi. It's a cute baby.
The mushrooms.
She's a mushroom washer.
So I feel like what most people would want to know. Oh my god, I nearly took my finger off. Yeah, I feel like what most people would want to know is like, now that obviously, how many months has it been since you were in Love Island? Like quite a long time.
I think like 6 months.
How do you, like, if you could be like, have a totally honest reaction now to like your experience, and if you think it was worth doing it, like, what do you think about it now? And I suppose, would you recommend it to anybody else who was thinking about it? Is that a casualty?
I cut my hand, I don't even know how. Right,
no, these knives are sharp.
No, they are, aren't they? But honestly, it's something I never in a million years thought I would ever do. Like, it was rather a disaster. It was never on my radar. I would never have considered doing it. It was more just like, in that time the opportunity like presented itself to me, it just felt, something about it just felt right.
Yeah.
And I kind of just went with it, and then I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to do it. Like, what's the worst that can happen? But let me tell you, there is a lot of bad that can happen.
Oh my god,
I just didn't. What? Oh, it's in that second drawer.
This is, I'm sorry, like trying to navigate around someone else's kitchen is like,
yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, because I didn't realise, like, obviously they can, like, no, do you know what? It's not that they can edit people different. Like, obviously it's like a certain, like, they can show you in, like, something bad could happen on TV and everyone could hate you for the rest of your life. Like, there's so much bad that could come from it. But I was just very, like, thinking in the, oh, well, what could happen? Nothing.
Yeah.
Let me just do it.
You could never assume that you're going to get a bad edit. Like, that would probably never come into your mind, because you know the type of person that you are, and that, you know, you're likeable and you get on with people. And I think it's probably an element of naivety, isn't it? Of like, well, why would nobody like me? Like, I'm not a bad person.
Yeah, and it just didn't really cross my mind because I just thought, like, I don't know, like, I know in myself I'm a good person, so it's kind of like, even if, you know, I made a mistake or I did or said something on TV or whatever, like, I know that it would never come with, like, bad intentions. So it's like, oh, I'll just do it. But, yeah, honestly, one of the best things I did, like, it was just such a good experience. I got to be on holiday literally for about, I think I was in there in total like 6 weeks, but then I was out there for another week. So it was 7 weeks in total of me being in the sun, free holiday. I got like unreal.
The best time of your life.
So yeah, I'm really glad I did it. Like, I literally have no regrets in the situation.
Yeah.
I also think as well, like, if I didn't go on Love Island, like, in terms of my career, I mean, because obviously it was always a to and a fro, like, is it a good idea, is it not? Like, I know there's a lot of brands that won't work with people who've been on Love Island, but in my head it was always like, if I don't go on this show, like, in terms of career I'm speaking about now, like, love aspect aside, I'll just be still trying to build my Instagram. Yeah. But then if I do go on this show, like, it's going to build, so I'm like, it's just a quicker path. It's literally like a shortcut in a sense.
And if it didn't work,
now
you just go back to what you did before.
Yeah. So like, it was like, it was
a bit of a no-brainer.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like for me it was just like, I'll try it, see what happens. And I'm very much like, when an opportunity comes to me, if I feel like it's come to me out of nowhere and I've not had to go and get it and it's just presented itself, I'm very much convinced in my own head that I'm meant to take that path, because why else would it be there?
This is me. So on the topic of Love Island then, what do you think you've learned about yourself since Love Island in terms of like who you are as a person, and then I suppose the dating world, because I've obviously been pretty much a serial relationship girly. As you know, I've always like pretty much been in and out of long-term relationships, and I know that you obviously were a two before you were in Love Island, but now that obviously you're a single girly dating in 2024, what does that world look like? And have you got dating red flags, things that you've learned from Love Island in terms of like, this is what I definitely do want and this is what I definitely don't want? Because all I'm hearing is that it's just a savage world out there now.
The world's terrible. Let me tell you, dating world, terrible. For the life of me, I just can't at the moment.
Honestly, I would rather shit in my hands and clap.
Worst thing, I have a dating app.
I was going to ask you about dating apps.
Yeah, so I have one dating app, and
tell us which one. Go on.
No, there's just one. I don't want to say it and then people find me on
I know, yeah. How awkward.
I have one dating app, and sorry, I'm just quickly going to stir this gnocchi because it sticks together.
Do you know how hard it is to film a YouTube video and cook at the same time and just chat? This gnocchi's going to end up like 10 hours overcooked.
Literally. Basically, what I do on there is I'll flick through the people.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll even think, who am I to be judging you off a picture? And I feel so bad when I X someone, because I just think they could be the loveliest person in the world.
But how are you going to know off a dating app?
No, and then if I do match with them and it comes up saying connected, I literally couldn't think of anything worse. I honestly sometimes have a sigh of like disbelief, like, oh, great.
Another date.
And then, let me actually show you. Then people message me, and then, I mean, obviously I can't show the camera because I can't show
getting
who's
a little
messaged me.
private talk.
Like, then people message me, and I don't reply.
Yeah.
And this guy...
Oh my god, that's not even in English.
No, this guy... Yeah, exactly. This guy messaged me, and because we wasn't speaking in English, I'd have to... I mean, I only ever replied once, but I had to use Google Translate to reply.
Oh, fuck
far too
that.
much effort. So, literally, I just don't reply to anyone. Right? So that's that. So that's ridiculous. Then I also did give someone my number, and I was texting them before, and I attempted to make a flirty comment, and obviously me having zero game, it didn't come across that way, and he just then thought I was being mean, and then I had to clear it up, and then I was like, do you know what, I just can't do this.
Do you know what the other thing is? I genuinely think, and apologies to anybody who's met their long-term partner on a dating app, I just don't think you're going to find a husband on a dating app.
Right, well you say that, but there's this TikTok called Max. And do you know the funny one?
Max Belletti, that
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
He's so funny. Well, he met his boyfriend on Hinge, and I saw it because he told me, he told me the story. I've never met him in my life. I wish. But he put it on TikTok the other day about how he met his partner on there. They've been together like 3 years and got a house together now, and I'm literally like,
how
gorgeous.
Yeah, love that for you.
Gorgeous. I love that for them because I need that.
Yeah.
But
I feel like that's the success story though, isn't it? Like,
yeah. Well, love that for them.
That's so nice. I mean, my mum and my stepdad met on a dating app.
Oh my god.
Dating website, but we're talking.
Which one?
I think it was called My Single Friend.
Do you know which
Like
one?
the olden days dating app.
Do you know what I was gonna say? Was it Plenty of Fish?
Plenty of Fish.
Yeah. That's really like when you know you're getting old when you have to download Plenty of Fish.
No, I swear to God.
But that's me soon.
No,
Yeah.
you're not that old. When you see Leah on Plenty of Fish, and you know she's literally hit rock bottom. Mind your business with all the 50-year-olds.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like you're not going to meet your husband on there. And the one thing for me is, whenever I've obviously, like, fingers crossed, I think I've met the one now that like I'm going to be with for the rest of my life. But any time I've ever met someone, it's been like the least expected situation.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to be a dating app. I can't talk to people over text because you can't hear the tone of the voice or anything like that.
I'm such a bad texter.
No, well, actually, no, you are the worst.
I'm
I'm bad, but
literally-
you are the worst.
No, then when it comes to boys, I'm even worse because like my friends, like I hold
You
them
make
at a
time,
certain priority
yeah.
where it's like, okay, I'll text you or whatever, but with boys, especially a guy who I've never met, like they're probably not getting a text back for a few days.
Yeah.
Like, and then at that point, the conversation is so
dry.
slow
Yeah.
that I'm like,
Yeah. So on that topic, if you were to meet somebody, dating app or not, what are your do's and don'ts for what you want, or dating absolute red flag? Never speak to you again.
I mean, dating red flag is obviously someone who licks the lid of a yogurt pot.
No. Oh my god, I'm so glad you said that.
Isn't it the worst?
It literally.
Like, why?
No.
Just use the. Just
Does
you
it-
don't need the lid.
That's like people who recycle like the plastic lid off something, and I'm like, no, the bottle top, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you've got time to put the bottle top in the recycling. Watch everybody come for me now.
Oh. She said that.
But yeah, looking, Josh does it, and I'm like, you are an animal.
Yeah, close your eyes.
Disgusting.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I feel like I have a lot of things that I want and don't want. But I've also come to realise that when you meet someone, it doesn't matter what you like, to a degree, what you want and don't want. Like, also there could be something I've not thought of,
Yeah.
or that person has, and I love them for that.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of things go out the window.
I think you definitely compromise. Like, there's certain things that are maybe a little bit more materialistic that you're like,
Yeah.
ooh, not materialistic. What's the word I'm looking for? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like little things that you're like, oh, I wouldn't want that. But then actually, like you say, if you meet someone and you
doesn't
absolutely love them, you're like, I don't care that you sleep with socks on. But
Exactly.
actually, I would care about that.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is really difficult.
Cooking and chatting. I can't even do a get ready with me while I film it
No, I
because I get
can't.
distracted.
Is it wrong to eat parmesan like you would eat normal cheese? I think it's gorgeous.
I think it's wrong, but I think it's fine. Like,
It's wrong, but we'll let you off.
exactly, yeah.
What's in your fridge?
Hi YouTube, welcome to What's in My Fridge. So, don't judge me. I've literally just got back off holiday not too long ago. So, Kimmy K drinks, of course, because we love Kimmy K here. We're a Kimmy K stan. All the sauces, because we need multiple
Because she's
sauces.
a saucy girl.
These, I do actually also get fresh ones, but I just like them. This is from Christmas, so that's disgusting. That needs to go, and so are they. So ignore them.
I really hate pickled onions as well.
Do you?
Yeah, like hate.
Protein yogurts because I love them, and a protein pudding. And then these are so good, protein mini pancakes.
Ooh,
So basically, I'm a
protein
protein
girl.
girly. Plus, light baby bells because they have 5 grams of protein. So that's that. Obviously, my fruit and veg straw, I do always have it stocked up actually. And then cheese because I'm a cheesy girl, and more cheese because I still love cheese. And that's
Cheese.
pretty much what's in
This
it.
is the tidiest fridge I think I've ever seen in my life. You know what? I love to cook, but I am actually the world's worst chopper. Like, when it comes to chopping garlic or chopping herbs and you've got to do it dead small, I'm like that. You know, when people do that.
Can't be good at everything.
No, you can't. You can't always be like sexy and practical, so
exactly, one or the other.
It is what it is. What is your biggest style tip or hack for people, especially for people who are supposed to try to find their personal style, because that's a long journey.
Oh my, that is a long journey. I feel like that's just trial and error.
It really is.
I feel like it's took me so long to discover up until now, and I genuinely think that the tomboy femme sticks for me, because I've been at points where I've been too tomboy, and points where I've been too femme to the point that that's not a bad thing, but it just doesn't feel like me.
Yeah.
And then I feel like now I'm at a point where I can mix the two. And then also another thing I've realised is jewellery.
Accessories in general.
Just literally get some good gold bracelets, some staple hoops, some like none of the jewellery I have on is expensive jewellery, but I just feel like when I put it on,
you look more put together.
Yeah, it lifts something.
Yeah, elevation. I use the word elevate too much, but I really do think all in the accessories, like even for me, like especially this time of year, I'll wear a leather glove with everything because I'm like, that looks really fucking cool.
Yeah,
I think
you're good at sunglasses.
Always sunglasses.
That just makes all your outfits look cool.
Yeah, I love no matter what the weather. But I do think it makes you look cooler. Part of it, partially for me, is because I like to feel a little bit hidden.
This just smells great.
I'm so excited. I feel like I need to do
a happy dance.
Yay!
I am a chef.
You are a chef. You can cook, bitch.
I literally get me on MasterChef.
That's so good. Do you know, like, even if you're not a vegetarian, like if you eat meat, I feel like that is so satisfying. You know when you've got like that bit of truffle? Coming back. That bit of truffle and the parmesan and stuff like that.
So good.
So good. Given that today's whole thing was on the topic of Fashion Month and we are mid into Fashion Weeks at the moment, I know that you love your fashion, but is that something that's on your bucket list? Is there a specific city that you wanted to go to, or a brand that you'd love to go and see the show?
I would say my bucket list is New York Fashion Week. And it was last year I saw the Tory Burch show.
Yeah.
And the second I saw it, I was like,
gasp,
I need to be there.
Yeah.
It just looked unreal, like so good. So I would definitely say that's on my list.
Yeah.
I've never been to Paris Fashion Week, and I think even like the vibes in the street during the time, and I just feel like the energy that's around is just unreal.
Yeah.
And then obviously London Fashion Week is closer to home, and that's something I would love to like be able to witness.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like in terms of shows, it's more for me about learning about new people, because I just think that there's so many shows in Fashion Week by designers that I maybe necessarily like wouldn't have heard of, but then I spot their stuff on the runway and I'm like, wow, what an unreal brand. So yeah, I feel like for me it's more about being able to be there in the middle of it, to be able to be just inspired by fashion in general, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I've not done New York Fashion Week yet, and I would absolutely love to. But when you were saying about Paris, that's what I always loved about Paris, was it feels like a spectacle even in the streets. Like I feel like they really put on a show. And I think Milan's a lot like that as well, even though I've not done Milan yet, I mean, from what I've seen. But in terms of like designers that you might not have heard of and stuff, and it feeling a little bit more intimate and cool, Copenhagen is like the sickest place. Like, it's an unreal city.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah, and I feel like the designers are very much up your street, because we have like actually quite a similar sense of style on a daily basis. Like that jacket that I walked in today and you were like, oh my god, that's like a Copenhagen designer.
Unreal.
And I just feel like they do street style so well. Like Paris and Milan very much do couture very, very well.
Yeah.
The Danish do street style like no other, and it feels like for example, when I was in Copenhagen last year, one of the shows was, oh god, I can't remember who it was. That's going to really annoy me. But basically the show was the woman who designs it was at her son's school. Like that's where they did it, in the sports hall at her son's school. It was sick. God. And then she walked out with her son at the end, and I was like, do you know, it just feels like family, because Fashion Week can be so contrived. Like I think I mean, this is the next topic that I was going to move on to anyway, but it's a nice transition in terms of like, I love fashion weeks and I get so excited for them, but the imposter syndrome when you're there, because everybody thinks that they're somebody, or at least they're giving that energy out, and it automatically makes you feel like less than.
Yeah, I actually saw Madeline Argy speak about this on her podcast once. And obviously I've never been there, so I can't really relate to that, but I have been in a lot of scenarios.
Fashion events in general can be very snooty.
And even me, since coming out of Love Island, going to like I don't know, like a movie premiere or some kind of event or something, sometimes it makes me feel like, am I supposed to be here? Like, why is this happening to me? Why am I on a red carpet? Why are people taking pictures of me? And I do feel like it is hard to accept it, so like I do fully get that, but then as well I feel like that's why it's so nice to talk about it, because there's other people that are going through that exact thing. Like, there's other people who are there at Fashion Week, that probably feel really misplaced as well, and then it's nice to just be able to connect on that level, you know. I feel like another brand I would love to wear is Miu Miu. Imagine going to the show in a little two-piece cord. Oh my god.
And Prada for me as well. Where do you think your fashion inspiration came from originally, and like where do you draw inspiration from now?
Do you know what? Growing up, my fashion sense was always very practical because I did dance. So it was always very like baggy clothes, like tracksuits, like
comfort
trainers, like it was like Jordans and stuff, whereas all my friends from school, they wouldn't be wearing Jordans, they had no idea what the Jordans were. But I think for me, because I was just in that dance world and it was like more of a practical, like wearable shoe, like it worked, and then like I would always be in joggers and stuff, and I still felt very comfortable in them, but also like I kind of learned to style them, because it'd be like, right, well, I'm going to a dance class, so I need to wear my joggers, so what am I going to put on? Maybe a crop top and shirt. And I just feel like it kind of like came from there. I wouldn't say.
I can definitely still see the origins of that influence in your style now. You know, when we were talking about the tomboy and the baggy and stuff, that's a very obvious progression, isn't it, from that? The other thing is, like, I think it's so funny how, and you like tell me if you've had the same experience, like I copied my mum doing everything when we were growing up, and I only thought of this because we were having this conversation over a glass of wine the other night, and I was like, even things like you watch your mum do her makeup, and it's a little bit different now because like obviously my sister's 13 and she did do little bits of, I mean there's a bigger age gap between her and my mum than there is between me and my mum, so that's a little bit different as well. But I think, you know, she learned to do her makeup from watching YouTube and stuff. I learned to do her makeup from watching my mum, and it was the same with style. Like the early parts of my wardrobe was stuff that my mum had given me, like vintage pieces and stuff like that. And I think now when I look back, I'm like, you can so tell when I was taking inspiration from my mum, because her style is lovely, but I would never have worn that top. That kind of thing. And I think that goes across all things, you know, like for example, if you're dating someone, if your mum doesn't like them, it's doomed. Like if my mum doesn't like an outfit, I'm immediately in my head thinking, what can I do to change this? And I'm like, it's my style, but my mum said something.
You always need your mum's approval, like all the time.
So obviously we've gone through Love Island and everything that you've done up until now. What do you think is next for you now in terms of career, just life in general, like goals for the next year, I suppose? What's next for Leah Taylor?
Do you know what? I feel like I'm just kind of settling into finding myself right now and what I want to do. And I genuinely have a list as long as my arm. Like, my manager hates me. Nothing is ever enough for me. But I kind of like that. Like, I feel like every time I find something I want to do and complete it, I'm on to the next thing.
I'm like that.
So yeah, I feel like for my influencing, it's more just working with black brands that I believe in and like love, and just like really like the foundation of like their business. Like, just keep working with those types of brands, like people who I never would have imagined I could work with. I want to work with them. Yeah, obviously we briefly just spoke about, I did have a marketing agency before I went to Villa. That's something I really want to continue doing as well, because I'm so passionate about like content creation. And yeah, just living a happy life
Live a long life, live a strong life.
Exactly.
Be a good girl.
Be a wellness girl.
Be a wellness girl. Thank you so much.
Thank
For
you.
spending the day with me.
Of course. And we made a really good meal.
We did. I'm really actually maybe I should do like recipes off the back of this. If you want to know how to make that gnocchi, it's on TikTok.
And you should also do ratings.
Yeah.
Because I know whoever else you get on this is not going to cook as good as me.
Oh my god, this is fighting talk. You know who's coming on next as well?
Yeah, she's not even near me.
This is fighting talk.
Yeah.
Wait till you find out who the next guest is.
Yeah.
This is literally like going to cause serious issues. To be fair, I would rate that one a 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
like that was mega.
so
but it's very much the type of meal that I think both of us would very much enjoy.
Yeah.
I'm going to be uploading these weekly, so please do like, subscribe, comment, let me know if there's any specific or particular guests that you want to see, and I will see you next week.